Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Connor with Connor's Retribution Analysis, and I've got Vyros 2 versus Mother. Yay, Backlash Assassination! That's what I'm thinking about, that's what I'm worried about. Feel good on attrition. I've played plenty against the tow cables. There's only 2 of them, I know how to handle them. I can position correctly. Problem solved. So, I do forget about Fire Group on my deployment, but it'll be okay. He's got pack of elimination servitors back there, pack of elimination servitors right there. Those are my main concerns. And yeah, let's go forward. He walks up Axiom after casting Fire Group, boosts to hit this Griffon right here, and I shield guard to Imperitus, who shield guards to this Griffon, and then Griffon gets pulled into Imperitus, and no worries. He's like, okay. Shoots at this Griffon right here, who shield guards to this Griffon, who shield guards to Manticore, who gets pulled into this Griffon right here. And so both of his tow cables are hosed, and then he's like, whatever, I'll roll up some Acela spikes, take some shots. And everything else kind of just moves forward and drifts some AoEs that do puncture, and a little bit of like 1s and 2s across the board. So we've got a map that looks like this, and I'm looking at it like scenario. This is a scenario type situation that I should really exploit. So what I need to do, get a Griffon right here to try and lock out Prime Axiom. He can come. This Cipher can come over and kill the Griffon, but then he's in the way of the Prime Axiom, and hopefully he won't be able to do it in a way. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Prime Axiom won't get into the zone, because I can set up Manticore to come in and kill the Cipher, but probably won't have enough resources to get the Axiom as well. So I send a Griffon across the board to hose the objective, and I set up Imperitus and Manticore right here to be threatening, and yeah. And then one of my Griffons runs, something funny that I thought it was funny. When I walked Manticore up here, I left a focus on him. I didn't run him. And I was like, do you want to countercharge? So he countercharges me, hits with this one, doesn't do any damage. And then he countercharges over here, hits with this one, does a little bit of damage. And then he countercharges with this one, hits and does some damage. And it's at this point, it's about 4 damage. And then I roll my D3 plus 1 and with my remaining focus and heal back up 3 of it. I was like, yeah! And put down a covering fire template somewhere that's pointless just to be annoying. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I think I put it down over there. Vyros does not cast Acceleration. Instead, he camps 6, and I prepare for some backlash. I'd rather have that than have Deceleration, just because I don't see him going for the assassination on Vyros 2, but I do see him going for the backlash assassination, and Deceleration isn't going to help me as much as 3 extra focus to shave 3 of those backlash points. Rest of my Griffons just kind of scoot around and set up. I'm going to put 1 Griffon right in next to these servitors, hoping to bait his inverter to come over and come into me, because if he does come into me, I can kill him with the Manticore pretty easily right here. And if he doesn't go into me, the 2 Griffons can kill him out of this zone, and I can potentially score the zone next turn. Oh no, sorry, I didn't kill the objective yet. I was foreplaying, because that's what's gonna be. I don't actually think that's how that word works, but that's for next turn. So yeah, I'm pretty set up, and I don't think this was actually a feat turn. No, it wasn't a feat turn. Anyhow, he throws backlash on this Griffon. He pops some feet. He does some damage to Vyros 2. I start shaving all the way through it, and Vyros 2 is mostly fine. Griffon ends up dying because he accidentally punches the Griffon with him. He wanted to mess him up pretty good and kills him the rest of the way. So it's like, cool. And yeah, he takes a bait with the inverter, charges into Griffon, and I think he kills this Griffon. So I lost 2 Griffons. No, he doesn't kill the Griffon, but it's knocked down and really messed up from a Quake-a-Bola thing, and it's pretty hosed. So yeah, so that pretty much went how I want to. So for my turn, it's time for that scenario play that I was setting up for. I'm going to score this flag right here with him. I got to get this Griffon to go kill these 3 servitors. Manticore's got to go kill that inverter. This Griffon is all messed up, so he's just going to build synergy. This Griffon is going to go score that zone. This Griffon, these 2 Griffons, and Imperitus clear off these 2. And Manticore goes and kills that, it's a Cipher, I think it is. No, an Assimilator, I'm sorry. And then sits in front of Axiom to kind of just body block him. And now I pop feet, and Vyros 2 gets to a safe spot right over here on the forest, since there's no longer a heavy over here. He's got the forest directly in between him and the forest, and I feel pretty decent about, I feel pretty decent about Axiom not being able to get to him with a tow cable or with anything at all. Imperitus is pretty far away, so that way he doesn't walk over with Dark Guidance and smack Vyros 2 for good damage and light him on fire on top of backlash damage. I have died to that in the past. I've got a lot of stories of how I've died to Mother. It just has sort of happened as I've played Vyros 2 into her. And I stubbornly continue to play Vyros 2 into her, even though she just looks at it like a backlash assassination party that all of her people are invited to have a good time with me. So, yeah. I am set up so that I score 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And here we are. He looks at it for a little while, doesn't see options, doesn't feel great. My feet is up. He puts backlash on this Griffon right here. And this Griffon is engaged, which is convenient. And his feet is not up. He shoots the Quake-a-Bola. I shield guard it to Manticore. Shoots the other Quake-a-Bola. Shield guard it to Griffon. And that Griffon's still standing, still engaged. Instead of walking away with his elimination servitor to take a free strike, he does take a shot on Griffon. And Griffon, it hits Griffon. A lot of other things start shooting at Griffon. But too many things miss because of the fact that he is engaged. And then Axiom, Axiom starts taking his shots. And yeah, basically misses way too many of them. Even with, he had to spin so he could get his left side over there. Just misses too many of them, doesn't get the backlash damage he needs. I think also these elimination servitors could not get over to that Griffon. I think what he should have done is put backlash on this Griffon right here. I would have shield guarded both, but I wouldn't have been engaged. And he also could have potentially walked over and headbutted me instead of going for the Quake-a-Bola. And then bought a whole bunch of attacks with these guys doing minuscule amounts of damage in melee after the knockdown to get some of those on him. Also, he get micro severing swarm. This guy could have charged him. All the elimination servitors over here could have shot. All of his could have gone through. And I mean, maybe it works. Maybe he gets, I think he needed to do about 16 points of damage to Vyros 2. I mean, there's a chance of it happening. It just didn't work out the way he did it. And yeah, I can't remember, but he did not contest right here, and I won on scenario. Because, yeah, that was that. Nice to get in a win against Mother. Over on the other side of things, Mitchell was playing into Aaron Allen in Convergence. he was playing Rd2 into Axis, single tap, bunch of heavies. I can hear kind of what's going on while I'm playing. I hear that Aaron Allen has a TEP that only has 3 servitors around it. So Rd2 goes up, and I hear he windbursts the servitors on the TEP, and then all kinds of shots, assault shots from Man of Wars, Fire for affected, Chariot, POW 20 hits it, and he's able to remove the TEP before it gets to do all the things it wants to do. And he pops feet on Axis's stuff, and Axis's stuff wants the speed boost from Axis, and Rd2's feet makes it so it's -3 speed, and Axis's feet makes it so it's +2 speed. So it's actually still -1 speed, and conversion stuff is pretty slow and doesn't like being -1 speed. And so the 2 feats kind of washed and countered each other out. And because, but I thought that game was going to go and we were going to win. It worked out though, where Aaron, even though he was down on attrition, he could keep jamming things into the Man of Wars, and he kept putting rough terrain templates down in front of them, and they didn't have access to Pathfinder, and they weren't able to get into the zones meaningfully enough to contest, and he kept running things in front of them, and Aaron was able to grind out a scenario win over him. So pretty bummed about that. And then our guy that wasn't here obviously lost, so we did not move into round 2, but I was actually really happy that Mitchell got to play him. Aaron Allen is a fantastic player of good caliber of skill, and it was a good game. I was pretty happy that Mitchell saw that move with the airburst and was able to bring down the TEP. That was a key playmaking moment and was pretty cool to see, and was happy. Made me happy, yeah. So yeah, on to next round. Thank you guys for watching.